All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Best Self Academy. I'm at the point where I've recorded a few episodes with some amazing entrepreneurs, some amazing spiritual people. Not everyone has to be an entrepreneur, and I'm excited to launch those. But I wanted to do a solo one. I want to make it a frequent thing that I hop up on here alone and just share some things. And if you don't know me, my name's Hunter, and the Best Self Academy is the name of my podcast as well as my program. And it's all about becoming the best version of yourself every single day. So, with that being said, there's a few areas of life and vehicles to be that best version of yourself that I help people with. So, it's, you know, um, your mindset, it's spirituality, it's relationships, it's sales, um, and it's health, you know, it's health, it's losing weight, gaining muscle. A few things I've done in my life is, speaking of health, just to remind you, if you're not familiar with me and my story, I'm 24 years old. I've run 30 marathons, eight ultra marathons, been at a point where I was very overweight and I lost 50 pounds in 4 months. And then I'm at the point where I've been able to gain 60 pounds of muscle right now. Hopefully, I can keep going with that. And yeah, that's just a few little things. I've started my own PR business recently in the past. Recently stopped doing that, focusing on coaching and mentoring other people. I truly believe that younger people need someone to be an example to. And I've been very fortunate to have some wonderful role models in my life at a very young age, in all areas of life. And I've been able to learn from them. And this is what I love to do. So yeah, if you have any other questions or anything and message me about my qualifications, why the heck you should listen to me at all. But anyways, so today I want to talk about, spirituality, but specifically faith, right? Because spirituality can also be law of attraction. It can be manifesting things. I truly believe that and I love that stuff as well. But today's going to be a little bit focused on faith. And what I mean by that, it's going to be focused on Jesus. And I love learning about Jesus. I'm currently in the process of trying to better my relationship with him. So let's get right into it. So I want to really make it a huge priority that I truly believe that people ages from 12 to 30 need to focus on becoming the best versions of themselves. And I'm going to talk about what Jesus, according to the Bible, thinks about that and the example that he set for us and how he was striving to be that best version of himself. So we're going to dive into the Bible. We're going to go Luke chapter 2 and a very common story. So, and I'm not a Bible expert, a Bible person who studies the Bible. I don't have a degree in the Bible, but been reading a lot of the Bible and scriptures my entire life. And this is the part, Luke 2, in the 40s, like 40 to 49, maybe, if I'm not wrong. But it's the part where, Jesus and Mary and Joseph have to go to Jerusalem. And, you know, they come back to Jerusalem, the parents, and they're like, "Where's Jesus?" And the thing is that Jesus stayed in Jerusalem, and what he was doing was teaching doctors, teaching a lot of intelligent people, and he was asking questions. So, he was really doing sales. He was putting in the work. He was prospecting. He was hitting up the leads. Like he was already putting work, if you think about it in that aspect, right? And he was only 12 years old, and his parents came back and they're like, "Dude, what the heck were you doing?" And he was like, "Can't you see I'm doing my father's business? I'm going about my father's work and his business?" And it's an amazing story. It's one of my favorites. And I wanted to talk about the work ethic of Jesus as well. I mean, even when he was 12 years old doing that, he had a work ethic. He was asking questions. He was teaching. He was already engaging in high level conversations. And I feel like that is something that's essential to becoming that best version of yourself. So, with that being said, I mean, he was 12 years old doing that. And this is the last part where we hear about Jesus, from 12, and then all of a sudden it goes to him being baptized, if I'm not wrong, at 30 years old, right? Because we only have record of his life, age 30 to 33, but it goes right the next chapter is literally him getting baptized. So that leaves me with the question, what does that have to say about our life age 12 to 30, when we kind of, I don't know, start going through some like changes and you go through middle school, high school, young adulthood, and then whatever. So how should we be living is the question. And there's kind of just one verse that summarizes how he was living and what happened during those years. I'm going to go ahead and read this. So it says, Luke chapter 2, verse 52. So the story is Luke chapter 2, 40 to 52, the parts I'm going to be talking about. So Luke 2:52 says, and Jesus increased in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man. So from age 12 to 30, this describes his life, right? And so he was increasing in wisdom and stature. He was growing, obviously physically, but he was increasing in wisdom. And something that we need to do, in my opinion, to become the best version of yourself and exactly what Jesus did is number one, we have to put in the work. We have to have a work ethic. And that work ethic needs to be towards being your best self. And in order to be your best self, you need to increase in wisdom. So how the heck do we do that? Honestly, I believe it's doing exact one vehicle is it doing exactly what he was doing. He was talking to older people. He was teaching older people. He was asking many questions to older people. And one key, one keystone in being that best version of yourself is engaging in positive conversations. It's normalizing talking about Jesus. It's normalizing talking about self-improvement and mindset stuff. That's one thing I'm trying to push. I am very passionate about normalizing this. It shouldn't take hiring a mentor like me to talk about these things. It's very important to have a mentor and a coach. Lots of benefits. However, you know, just engaging in high level conversations with your friends, with your family, um, or just anyone you meet. Like if you go to a gym and there seems to be a successful person, finding those role models. And one more thing is, going to YouTube. I can tell you, going to YouTube, and especially with all the access to AI, we can learn so much. I spend 2 hours every morning just educating myself on certain things. And there's so many things we can learn about Jesus just from YouTube, you know, hearing teachers talk about him and taking notes. And I just want to make it very clear that Jesus gave us an amazing example of work ethic, especially at a young age. I don't think we should waste any time in our youth. I think we should already start increasing in wisdom and striving to be that best version of yourself, right? So kind of setting yourself up for success at a young age is another example that he set for us. And it's just amazing. Jesus Christ is the ultimate example of work ethic, and the evidence is in Luke 2, verse 40 to I think it was 52. So I invite anyone listening to go ahead and read that story, reread it. What do you learn from it? And simply just in your Bible, highlight it, write notes on it, get a notebook, and write down what you think, what you feel. But I just want to make it very obvious that Jesus's work ethic is the ultimate example at a young age, and that's something to ponder. So think to yourself, how can I better my work ethic? How can I be better? How can I increase in wisdom? What habits can I start building right now that are only going to help me increase in wisdom? And at one point, a habit of mine was striving to, when I go to the gym and I would see someone that would be successful, or I'd go out in public, I would make it a habit to talk to 1 to 3 people every day and just open up conversation and try to learn from them. And I can tell you this, as I've done that and I've started to truly strive to listen to what other people are saying and pick their brain, I there's so much stuff up in my mind that I've learned from other people in just normal conversations. that I find myself when I'm talking about these things, it'll just randomly come up. And it's such an amazing tool to have uplifting conversations. So, there's no doubt that reading the Bible can increase your wisdom. Going on YouTube, looking at your specific niche in your business and copying those experts and just tweaking it to yourself and your personality, you know, um, finding a mentor, you know, whatever you want to do. If you want to develop more discipline, look up someone who has a lot of discipline like David Goggins and listen to him. Listen to the podcast that he's been on. We're so blessed to have so many wonderful resources. But just to close this thing up, I'm grateful for Jesus. I'm grateful for all the teachings that are in the Bible about him. And I just wanted to say, you know, try to increase your work ethic. Think about how you can do it. It's a personal thing. And that was the short message I wanted to share with everyone today. Um, you know, follow me, reach out to me on Instagram, whatever. If you have any questions, reread the story. I'd love to, hear everyone's thoughts about this, and how it relates to your point of view. But thanks for listening, guys. I hope you have a blessed, wonderful day. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you later.